Hello, welcome back to my channel, Snips by Kelly. I'm Kelly, and welcome to episode 2 of our Two Countries, One Collection cross-border collaboration with cute little Dorothy Guinan here from Scrapbooking, Quebec. This round's theme is called Around the Table, and I'm sharing how to fit 29 photos on one beautiful 2-page scrapbook layout without losing the decorative charm. Dorothy and I have been using the Homemade Sweetness collection, and this is perfect for documenting gatherings, dinners, retreats, family meals, celebrations, and all those memory-filled moments around the table. Now, 2 weeks ago in our first drop, I focused on the brights and I documented my strawberry rhubarb jam recipe. Our theme was recipes, and I used the Filled with Sweetness jars and created shakers out of those, slide outs for the recipe and additional photo opportunities, and then a flip flap. I really love how that turned out. Now, while I was documenting rhubarb jam, Dorothy was using these same jars to create a beef stew pot and document her famous beef stew recipe, which is a family favorite of hers. In between video drops, I actually used this collection again, and I wanted to create a non-foodie theme with this collection. So I documented a girl's trip to a ballet, Cinderella, and I created this cute little corner pocket here to be able to hold the playbill and the little tickets, and it was so much fun. So again, this week our theme is around the table. Now, I did put a link in the description last time, a little PDF that had lots of different ideas. Now, when I was thinking about around the table, Dorothy and I talked about it could be a traditional meal like Thanksgiving or Christmas. It could be al fresco. It could be a lot of different things. And so I was trying to brainstorm ideas, and I created this PDF, and I will link that in the description again, but I decided to focus a little bit more this time on more of the misty moonlight and the blue tones. So I have a little bit of the paper left here. And of course, it's bold, it's bright, it's really fun, but I'm gonna pull out like the wash blue, the crisscross blue, and then I love this little daisy pattern. It's really perfect. And I'm actually going to document some around the table moments that I had in Long Beach, California at our Onstage event. Onstage is Stampin' Up's version of a convention, and I'm going to actually use photo collage as a method to get 29 photos on one layout. We had so much fun. I had fun with my snapshots team and one of our sister teams. And then we, of course, were crazy ladies and took pictures of all the food and snapshots of all of us around the table. We went to a restaurant called Parker's Lighthouse, and it was an amazing restaurant. It was a little bit crazy and busy, but when you go around the corner of Parker's Lighthouse, you can see the Queen Mary. So there was so much atmosphere. It wasn't necessarily a seafood vibe, but it did have the lighthouse and it was on the water. Now I'm going to create this collage. I used PicMonkey, but whether you use PicFrame or, Canva, whatever you use to create a collage, the collage is a great way to add extra photos. And I'm actually going to put that in an 8.5 by 11 page protector. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I actually got this idea, I think it was about a year ago, from Scrap and Katie Taylor over at Scrap and Katie. And she has so many sports photos. And she uses this collage idea to knock out a bunch of sports photos. And so definitely check out Katie. She's pretty amazing, especially at mixing collections and matching up a variety of paper and using things from her stash. She's a whiz at that, and I really appreciated this idea. So here you can see a larger 5 by 7 photo. You see the lighthouse in the background. Our little Debbie Carvalho from our team was wearing the same color that was showing up on the lighthouse. lighthouse. The lighthouse actually changed colors, but that's the snapshots team, and we all had matching shirts. And guess what? Strawberry slush, which is a featured color in this collection. And then I had some photos of the grill, some photos of some really super fun, kind, wonderful ladies from a sister team that we'll talk about here in a little bit, some other candids from the snapshots, and then the foodie bits. Now, my kids would be groaning because they're always saying, Mother, stop taking pictures of food. But oh my goodness, it was so pleasing, not only to the palette, but it's so beautiful, the arrangement. So I did 3, 6, 9, 12 photos on that one. And then Anne-Marie Julian Wetzel from over at Craft and Create with Anne-Marie is one of my friends from a sister team. And she and 2 of her team members were there. And she had the idea to go around the table and take snapshots, first with the person on your left and then a selfie with the person on your right, so that we could get a view of everyone who was around the table. It was such a fun idea. And I love that I have each of the snapshots of each of the ladies to document. Now, I put those collages on 8x10 and did an 1/8-inch border all the way around with willow white. They're going to stack perfectly on top of each other, and I can have the food on the top, or I can have the ladies on the top. I have 12x12 misty moonlight bases in the background on the light side, but I see putting that page protector in the center and then being able to add more photos underneath and then have a feature photo of the team over on the left, and design the right page so that it's as if the collage isn't there, but then when you put the collage in place, it looks like it was made for it and the decorative element stays in place. Now, I've decided to pull out these amazing party banners for the left page and do a decorating on the left page, and then maybe curve a title over on the right that sticks out from underneath the collage of photos. So if you're wondering, I have about 29 photos. I think in the collage, they're about 2.5 inches, maybe a little over 2.5 inches. Now I'm going to play a little bit of a trick here. I have a piece of acetate window, and I really want the paper to show up underneath that photo. And I didn't want all 11.5 or 12 inches of the page protector. So I mounted those collages on the front and the back of the acetate window so it would slide perfectly into that page protector but have an edge. Now I'm going to pull in some of those blues, and you can see here that I have an odd shape. I actually created that on the Cricut, but I'm going to show you what I did. I pulled a label and then I sliced that label in half so that it would have a little rounded element. Now you could probably do that by adding a circle underneath the edge of a rectangle as well, but I wanted that rounded element to round a title. So we'll talk a minute here about those sizes, but I'm just going to mount 11 by 11.5 willow white so that we have an edge, about a 1/2 inch edge on 3 sides, and then the daisy piece is 6.5 by 11 3/4. And then of course that label piece is 11 3/4 as well. And then I pulled out the heart paper and I actually kind of trimmed so that just the hearts were going down the center. And that's just a little 1/4 inch piece. Now you can see that when I clip this 8.5 by 11 page protector into my D-ring, it's going to fit perfectly over those decorative pieces. So now I have some additional photos here that are 3x4 and 3x3, and I'm just going to arrange those, and they have a 1/4 inch willow white border. I have some sister team members here where we share the same upline, and we have Craft and Create with Anne-Marie, Snip and Scrap by Vicki Enyart, and then we have Kathleen Loomis. Just some fun, amazing girls there. And then Shauna is up in the upper corner. She is a team member of mine that drove 2.5 hours to meet us. She actually lives in California. Now I'm going to mount the 5x7 over here on the left on a brighter piece of the strawberry slush paper. And I believe I went 6 1/4 by 8, so I had plenty of leftover around the edges. I used the crisscross and the floral with the largest party banner, and then I skipped a size and then went the next size down. And then the spoon paper, I do end up flipping over to the heart paper. I kind of thought the spoon paper was more fitting, but I ended up flipping it over to the heart size. And then we're going to split the banner. So you can put the banner on the die and just get a little top there, and then stretch the bottom so that it makes it look like it's a longer banner all the way down. The spoon or heart paper is actually 4.5 inches, and honestly, the left edge doesn't end up showing, and all of that is wasted. So you can end up trimming off about 2 inches on the right side, and you'll be just fine because it will be covered with the banner over on the left. A lot of times I like to get dry placement and then trim, or even just sort of lay like pieces before I've trimmed them down so that I don't waste a bunch of paper. And so I'm happy with that. As I'm starting to put this together, the actual pink shows on the upper left. And then as I adjust and add parts and pieces later in the video, it doesn't show at all. So what we do to one side, we want to carry over to the other. So I've actually added a couple additional photo mats to match the checkered strawberry slush from the left over to the right. And I made those 3.5 by 4.5. And then I pulled in a little secret C because it matches all the jeans color. And I did those the same size on toggled on the opposite too. Now I used the smaller of the tabbed dies from Made with Sweetness, and I made a couple little tabs and trimmed them off the top, and I made one in white and one in Secret C. I'm pulling in the Secret C to ground some of those colors a little bit, and then I'm going to use one of the punch-out journaling pieces from the Made with Sweetness Scrapbooking Workshop Kit, and I did a little journaling on strips along the top, and I told a little bit of the story. Now, I noticed that these doilies are on our last chance and they are discounted. And I believe they're called Lovely Doilies. And I thought the light pink might be really pretty to bring in a feminine element, although the layout itself is a little bit more neutral, but the florals in the daisies, I thought these big circles from the Made with Sweetness punch-out sheets in the Scrapbooking Workshop Kit would make great color bases underneath those doilies as landing spots. It adds a rounder element. We have a lot of straight edges, so it softens up the layout. It also adds a little bit of femininity underneath. So of course, if you're working on a theme that is a little bit more masculine, those circles could be any number of things. In fact, I'm thinking of our gears and textures. It might be perfect to add gears and textures under depending on your photos. Now I've found a little lighthouse on the Cricut, and I thought even though it wasn't a real nautical theme, we were on the water across from the Queen Mary with lighthouses in the background. So I made the lighthouse in Misty Moonlight and the anchor in Secret Sea. Now I will link in the description my design space file so you can get that rounded piece already cut over on the right. And then for some reason, if your theme is nautical as well, you can add the ship's wheel and the lighthouse and the anchor, but I kind of like the idea of adding these rounded elements underneath. Now I don't end up using the doily under the right corner here. I think that the ship's wheel ends up being perfect by itself without the doily, and that leaves the two doilies, a larger one on the upper left and then a smaller one on the upper right. Now we have a couple ribbon choices. We have this really beautiful Secret Sea trim. I believe that came with the Nature Walk suite, and then we have the trim that came with this collection, which I do end up tying a knot and putting that on with a glue dot and adding that cute little textured element there. Now I've cut memories and then made around the table. So you can use some of your alpha dies, you can use a Cricut title, whatever you would like to do over here. But I love that rounded element to maybe make that kind of make little hills around the right side. And then that's going to stick out of the page protector and you're going to still see that decorative element. This isn't a hard layout at all. I've made it super easy on myself by using things that were already given to us, like punch outs and stickers and things that are already in the workshop kit. So I'm going to pull out some of those punch out daisies and punch out leaves out of that. And then probably the best. So today was the best, another punch out. Now up on that tabbed piece that I made with this filled with sweetness dies. Remember, this is going to fit perfectly. There's quite a few of these little tabbed stickers on the sticker sheet in the DSP and sticker sheet or in the scrapbooking workshop sticker sheet. I got a little adhesive on there, so I might have to strategically place a gem. And so now that I have those larger elements in place, I can simply decorate with punch outs and stickers. I sometimes love to add lots of stamping and die cutting, and sometimes I like to go easy on myself and use the pieces that they've given us right in the kit that I can manipulate and move around the page. I don't want this to be completely floral. I just want a few little strategic flowers on the anchor, maybe on the ship's wheel or on the lower end of the journal spot there, and maybe over up in the upper right. So I'm creating that little visual triangle that you see so often. And then I see myself just adding some of the dots that came right in this collection. They are called strawberries and dots, and they are little strawberries as well as strawberry slush and misty moonlight dots. So I'm going to use a combination of the dots, and I am getting happy. Things are coming together here, and I'm thrilled to be able to get 29 photos on one 2-page layout. So we're going to take a look here in a minute and see how that 8.5 by 11 page protector works and how it shows the decorative element through, and it will just fit in between the page protectors in my D-ring album. I'm like a little kid just waiting for Dorothy's video to drop. I'm always so excited to see what she's done for her take. Everything that she does is so balanced and beautiful, and I really appreciate her style. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video, and as we make the finishing touches here, some little stitching with a journaling pen and all of the little gems, I hope that you will tune into our playlist and watch as the collaboration unfolds. We have one more drop after this one, and if we hear from you and you've enjoyed our collaboration, we both have said that we might do future collaborations in the future and keep adding to the same playlist. So be sure you save that playlist and check out all the videos remaining in the series. So there you can see that I have the little dots that I'm adding, and then we'll take a swoop around and we'll look and see how this has transpired with all the additional 24 photos that I was able to get. I love that I was able to document with so many photos on one layout. Now, Stampin' Up! Does not yet have the 8.5 by 11 page protectors. I'm hoping that they might add those to their arsenal here in the future. I happen to just use some of the 8.5 by 11 page protectors that I had in my stash, and you can adjust that. So like Katie did over at Scrap and Katie, she actually used the collage directly on her layout without a flap. And so that's an option as well. I'm getting happy. I love that I've documented so much fun with fellow paper crafters and sister teammates. Great food, great fun, and great conversation. I hope that you'll come back soon for more and share the love of paper crafting with me, and definitely play along. Shoot me a comment and let me know your thoughts if this might be something that you'll try in the future. And definitely come back soon for more right here on Snips by Kelly. Happy scrapping, everyone. Bye-bye.